Well, hello and welcome to Ugly Farm. Sorry to give you a crotch shot here. I just wanted to show you. So my waist in August was here, and then I had to make more bell holes to go here so my belt fits. Anyways, I thought that was interesting. So, adjust this little guy right there. All right, so today I'm going to be doing some work on the plumbing and then back to building a miniaturized greenhouse. I think this is a very good option for a lot of people because, one, not everybody has the room for a big greenhouse, and two, you really don't need it. You just need enough space for your garden to seed. Uh, if you're not going to seed directly into the ground, which I recommend don't do that because that's extremely difficult, you can take the guesswork out of what you're planting by having a little greenhouse, sprouting them, getting them to their mature leaf, and then planting them, because you can see what the plant is doing as it develops over the first few weeks of its life. You can also do this with milk jugs, by the way. I'll see if I can find a link. I found somebody that did these. You just cut the milk jug in half and then put a little dirt in there, some soil, and then you plant the seeds and you close it back up, tape it, and then you just set it in your windowsill. I did that quite a bit at the house on the first time I've ever gardened. But yeah, so here's a picture of what I'm going to be trying to build today. And then I got a little cap here I'll show you. So I got this little thing here. You can pick them up at most hardware stores, and that's that plumbing that I did yesterday. I'm going to cover it up. And then I found some straps to work on the fence. I thought long and hard on how to secure the fence to the poles. I'll show you what I made here in just a second. I'll just walk over there with you. It really was a decision of finances, and some of the other ones didn't really make sense. So I could do something metal to secure the fence, or which is going to rust over time, or I can do something. Let's do this side here. It's a little bit easier. All right, let me make sure everything's in frame. Oh, that is not in frame. I don't even know what was in frame. All right, so there we go. Let me zoom you out a little bit here, show you what I'm talking about. So these are the straps, and right now I would just have a tie to it, but if I do rope, that's fine. Rope will probably be okay. I'll pick up that trash later. But these little rubber straps will probably do great, and they'll probably hold up for at least a year. And they were $1.70 or some shit like that. Excuse my language. I'm going to try not to cuss when I do this, but that's going to be very difficult because I like having a foul mouth. But so what I was thinking was just something like this, and this I will put 4 on each side. They're pretty taut. You can make them pretty tight like that, and that'll secure it there. And if I put 4 on here, it should hold it right up. So let's do that. I'll do a time lapse real quick, and then we can pick up on that plumbing. How about that? All right. So let's see what I got here. So that worked out pretty well. Nice and tight. It actually won't. It'll be hard to get that anything for any goat or sheep to push that over. So that was something I failed to mention yesterday. Whenever you're doing a fence, so a cow won't really mess with a fence. Sorry about the wind, by the way. It's a real windy day. It's actually, I'll get back to that cow thought here in just a minute, but it's actually really beautiful. It still is. It's like 70 something degrees right now. So I worked quite a bit out here just prepping things for about 2 hours without my shirt off. I didn't want to videotape that. I'm sure y'all don't want to see a 40-year-old man in his flab, but it was a beautiful day. So I was getting all that stuff prepped up and working and enjoying some vitamin D. But yeah, so cows won't really push on a fence very much, but goats and sheep, they will lean into it. Especially the sheep I got, they really want to get in there and do some rubbing for their fur, or their wool, I should say, not fur. But Yeah, so I thought this might be a problem. It's round, going into a rectangle. I'm gonna try and squeeze it down here anyways. See if I can make it work. And then we'll just fill it back up with dirt here. There we go. And that's about flush with the ground. As long as it can kind of maintain its shape, I think we'll be okay. Yeah, that'll work. Let me just pull it back a little bit. And if anything pushes down on it, it's actually kind of nice because it won't, what do you call it? It won't push down on the pipe on the very bottom. So that's actually really, really good. Let me get my shovel here. I'm gonna just put some water down there preemptively. Just kind of let it pack in because I don't really need loose dirt around this thing. I need it to be kind of tight. So I think this will actually work out really good. I wasn't sure how it was going to work out when I was doing it because I've never done something like this before. Most of the stuff I do on the farm, it's like a first time kind of thing for it. Every once in a while, it's similar. Like this is very similar to doing plumbing, but it's not it's not the same as doing a sink in a house, for example. So let's see here if I can break this down a little bit, make this nice and tight. I still wanted to kind of keep its shape. Man, that's coming out real nice. And I'm quite impressed with this. I have a big one that I bought for the, so over on the fence line over there, there's where I connected the plumbing to the well, or to the pipe leading from the house, I should say, is a large scale one of these, another valve basically, and a shut off point. And I have a bigger one that I'm going to put in at some point. I don't know if I'll do it today. It's not really a priority. I really want to get this other stuff done. I better put some dirt down inside here. I don't want it to be too full, but it does need to be packed in here. That is pretty good. Huh. Well, if you're not impressed, I don't know what's going to impress you. If you can't do this. There we go. Let it run a little bit. And this way, I can have a water hose hooked up. I'm probably going to have an open garden on this side, probably about 15 feet by, I don't know, 6 feet or something, just to go rows of corn, which would be real nice to have on out here, not have to have it. And there we go. Yeah, that is nice. I think I did a good job on that. And so, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do those fence holes today. I think it's a little bit too warm to do the holes, and I don't really know how I'm gonna do them. But I may actually do this thing over here. Let me show you. So I want a nice. Let me reposition the camera here while I'm talking. I really want a nice entryway. So this eventually will have a wooden gate right here. Back up enough so you can see it. And I don't know if you saw me take it down earlier in the time lapse, but there we go. But they have a trellis system, and you can use these cows. Yeah, I think I finished that talking about cows. If you hammer 4 T-posts in, you can mount this to the T-post, make it an arch. And so you'll have a little gate. Maybe I'll do like a saloon gate where you walk in like that. That'd be kind of cool. And then you walk through this arch, and you can plant vine style items like tomatoes, or I'm thinking about doing gourds. I don't know what gourds are good for other than loofahs, but you never know. All right, so we got that done. That looks pretty good. I think I'm gonna move over to the building this greenhouse. Let's do it. All right, so this will be my working space today. I don't know if this is gonna be in the way if I open it. Let me see. I think that'll be all right. So I got these pallets, like I said, off of basically Facebook Marketplace for free. And I was thinking about it last night on how to do it. And I looked at this as I was leaving, and I was like, this will make the good back for it. And I hit the jackpot on some of these pallets because a lot of these are cedar. This is some kind of pine. It's a soft pine too. It's not it's not one that'll last forever, but yeah, that'll be, so y'all can probably see this here. I don't really have a way to grip onto it, but the only thing I got to worry about is this backside here. It's not super strong, so it's missing a board, but I have an idea. Underneath there is some ply that I picked up. I'm thinking I'll use this for the side maybe. I really want maybe this guy here. Let's see. Let's grab this one. There we go. So I may have to just cut this in half. Yeah. Cut this in half and it'll be an angle. Let me just fast forward and I'll show you what I'm doing here. We'll do some time lapse of me working on it. It'll work out, don't worry. All right, so a little change of plans. I got to thinking, one, it's gonna be too heavy to move by myself, and I don't want to wait on somebody to come out here and help me move that thing. Even with my son, that thing was heavy. So I put it to where it's gonna go, and I got the back wall and the side walls, and I think I'm gonna change the plan a little bit on that picture that you saw. I'm not 100% sure why they had an angle that drastic on it. Maybe it's weather related, I don't know. But I think what I'm gonna make a slight angle on the roof so their water will drip off if it rains. But I'm gonna make a top that comes all the way up, like the picture, and then a front that either opens like saloon style gates, and those are gonna be, now that I look at the picture again, I think I said I had to make the front, but actually the front is gonna be that mylar or plastic wavy material that actually lets sunlight in. So that's gonna be the front and the top. So I just really need to, today I need to build the sides and the back, and then maybe the frame for the plastic to sit on. Is it plastic? I don't know what it is, but you've seen them. It's in the picture. So I think what I need to do now is just get the supplies I need off these pallets. So I need a 2x4, I need a bunch of slats, and the thing to keep in mind with pallets is you're gonna break like 50% of this shit because it's the cheaper wood, it's the softer stuff, and it's already probably mostly broken when they put it together. So I'm gonna do the best I can to get what I need, and that's what I'm gonna do now. And then I'm gonna bring it all over there, and we're gonna see if we can make it happen. So I think I could do a better job explaining what I'm doing than just time lapsing it. So these, if you can see them all, they got some 1x1s that are actually really good, and they have some no 2x4s on these, but all these little slats right here I can use, and I need to take them off at length as best I can. If you're watching the time lapse, I was using a grinder, and it's got all these little nails in them. And the problem is, if you start hitting on this stuff a lot, it's gonna break it. So what I like to do is, they got staples in this one, staples. I think I got most of the nails out, and the end is broken on this one, but I don't think I can save it. So yeah, right here, and I'm just making a little pile right there. But like this one nail right here, I'm probably just gonna grind off because it's easier to grind it off. And always use caution with the grinder. It's probably one of the most dangerous tools you can have in your shop. I just have a multi-purpose wheel on it that'll grind and cut at the same time. So it's got these little staples in there. They're not going to bother me. So what I'm going to do is just hammer them in, oh so slightly, just so they're not poking out if I have to nail onto this. And it also kind of tests the wood a little bit too, to make sure it's not going to be super frail. And just like that, I got a 4x4 that's halfway decent, or 1x1 that's actually halfway decent. I got 2 of them so far. Put all the good ones over here, and then carry on with dismantling the pallet. So grinder is a key on this. Okay, so I've gotten most of it apart, and I'm running into an issue when I'm taking off these boards. The likelihood is I'm going to break quite a few. However, if I can cut them to a length just on the other side of the nail, I can still use them and probably save every one of these boards. If I try to hammer them out like I've been doing, the likelihood is I may get 3 or 4 boards out of this. So in order to save some of this wood, I'm actually going to try and cut it just on this side of the nail. Make sure that's a halfway decent length there. I just want to cut through the board, not through the 2x4 down there. I don't really need the 2x4, but it'll burn out my saw battery too soon if I do that. Let's see if this will work here. Okay, so I brought over the pallet and ran into another issue, of course. Fortunately, I'm Captain Fix an Issue, figure shit out, however you want to word it. So a couple of things I didn't expect I'd need were my nail gun today. I do have a staple gun, but I don't have the staples. And I'm not 100% sure the little town I live next to will have them, which is kind of like a half an hour drive from here. I'm gonna need this table saw either way, so I'm just getting it out. But what I was gonna do is staple those pieces of wood in. I don't think that's gonna work without any staples. Oh boy, they don't make this easy, do they? So is taking video while you're trying to work really slows things down. But anyways, it's not much. But when I turned the truck on, the Bluetooth kicked on and it took over the audio. So I was rambling away for about 5 minutes again, and none got recorded. Anyways, so I'm gonna just cut the slats that I need to fill in here. I got 1, 2, 3 more spaces, and then I'll probably just do a little end cap on each side. Flip it over, and I have a piece of plywood in there that I'm gonna fish out here in just a minute. And then it's real thin plywood. I don't necessarily think it's going to hold up very long, but I don't need it to. So as long as it holds up a couple seasons, I think it'll be all right. I'll probably come up with a greenhouse maybe in a couple years, but for right now, I think this is plenty good for a couple years. It may surprise me. This cedar really kind of holds up if you put a little stain on it. So let's get back to it. Not bad. So this will be the side wall. A little bit of nice stain on there. I mean, it kind of has that palette feel to it, but so this would have been much easier with the table saw, but it's too flimsy and I don't have enough space to really kind of get out here and what do you call it? I don't have enough space to pull out all my stuff right now, or time. So this is about where it needs to be. I'll just make a few cuts with this old saw. Hopefully it'll come out pretty good. Let's see. Well, that went pretty well. So it's taking a lot longer to do this. I thought I'd be able to do all of it today, but no. I always overestimate my ability to do things, and so should you. It's a good way to live life. And then you don't challenge yourself. But I should be able to get, I guess it's 3 o'clock. It took me about 2 hours to do this little piece right here. So I'm gonna try and stain it. Just do the whole thing while I'm working at once here. I got this stain. It's like a black charcoal stain. Looks real cool. I have it on the wood post as well. I just put it in one of these little bug sprayers and it tends to do the job. I'm not trying to invent the wheel here. All right, I just found something out that the iPhone does. So you can actually play music. Because I like to come out here and jam, man. I like to listen. Just put Spotify on and just listen to all kinds of crap. Big fan of the 90s hip hop and Tupac and Biggie and all that. I know I don't look like it, but I actually quite enjoy rap and hip hop. So, anyways, I just found out that you can listen to music while you're recording. Before you couldn't do that, which is kind of nice. So I saved y'all the trouble of kind of watching me do that other side. I still need a 2x4 for the top and the front on that other one, but it's pretty much done. I even painted it. It's over there stained right now. So what I'm going to try and do is make this screwed into this one here. And it looks like I'm still a little short, so I don't know if I'm going to, I think I'm going to leave that gap right there. You can't really see it, but I have about a ½ inch, maybe an inch gap right there. And I may leave that like it is. I'm going to use some screws to mount this in. That way, if I need to take stuff off, I can. And this is all, you know, scrap, so it doesn't really matter anyways. Let's see what this does here. I brought food today, so I'm going to actually, let's change that. Doesn't need to be on hammer drill. That's ridiculous. I brought my food today to show you what I've been eating. I don't know how much you want to watch, but I think it'd be nice to sit by the fire and talk a little more if you're interested. So I'm just going to tighten these up, bring that other piece over here, and kind of get a general idea of what it looks like, show you kind of what I'm working with. I'm super excited about this because I put it by the water faucet over here. And yeah, I think that's going to work out really well. I can do like a misting system. I don't know if I want to do that side. Yeah, but maybe I'll do it on this side over here. Yeah, misting system would be actually quite nice. That way, a lot of these, I've done some other stuff before with automatic water systems. And you can do it as simple as just put on a timer and a water hose. And you wouldn't believe how well your garden will grow. Excuse me for the ash shot here. Not much back there. So, there we go. Yeah, just having a water. Yeah, it looks pretty nice. Yeah, get that back one stained up, and this is going to turn out all right. Check it out. So imagine having a top on there. So it'll have a plastic front here, maybe a little, I may have to use some braces on the front to secure it, but then a little gate here to open, and then a plastic top that comes up, and then I may put some shelving in here as well, and then a mist system. Yeah, I think it'll do all right. So, all right, well, I'm going to tighten up here, and then I guess I'll see you at dinner. And I got not much more. I got a time lapse here, so I'll show you what I eat here in just a little bit. Got the sun going down on us. It's not down yet, but it's getting there. That's how I know it's almost time to quit working. Literally my favorite part of the day. This may go poof on me. Let's see if I can get a lighter that works. I broke the other one. Oh, there we go. Come on. I don't want to stick my hand down there. I put a lot of fuel, but I may have to. There it goes. All right, so I got some cleaning up to do, but I think everybody needs this part of the day. I think you need to work hard all day, physically exert yourself for men. Women, you can do this too, but I think men, it's more important. I feel so good every time I do this. I got out here midday and I probably put 4 or 5 hours of work in. It really wasn't that much, but it was in the sun. I'm dirty as hell. I'm tired from lifting heavy things all day. I start a fire, listening to the sounds, watching the sunset, and then I'm gonna cook dinner on my makeshift stove out here in a minute. I think everybody needs this in their life, at least a couple times a week. It's a way to live. Anyways, I'm gonna let that play. I'm gonna do some time lapse of that fire and just the sunset while I clean up, and I'll come back, set up for cooking. Well, I did a bunch of takes, and one of them didn't have the mic went dead on me, and the other one I just did the outtake video, the camera wasn't on, I wasn't recording, so that's a little frustrating, but I still had a great day, and I got my food cooked. A little bit of ground beef, wagyu, a little bit of potatoes, a little bit of tomato, a little bit of avocado. I didn't bring oh, and I threw in a fresh egg in there in case you didn't see it. I didn't bring in a plate, so I'm gonna have to eat out of the pot, but I can think of worse ways to end my night, so I'm gonna get out of here. I hope y'all enjoyed the day. Hope you enjoyed the cooking there. I didn't get to show you much, but I'll get you on the next one, I promise. Y'all take care.